So hi there again today. I'm going to do a challenge. I'm talking about an Artstation challenge. Um, I don't usually do challenges, but this challenge fits in quite well with some artwork that I want to develop for the 3Z universe, which is on my site, jamesabelart.com/blog. You can also go to my new landing page, 3zuni.com, 3zuni.com. So anyway, and it's good because you can share your work processes with other people, who are doing concept art and sci-fi work. And Artstation has a tremendous amount of really, really good art on it, from people in the work in games industries, films, and also freelancers and general artists as well. It's very biased towards film, game, concept type art. So you don't really get abstract stuff so much, and it doesn't. There's not many people that would appreciate abstract work. Although I do abstract work, it's not really the kind of people on this site that would be into that. But anyway, here goes. So I'm going to do Beneath the Waves environment design, and I've got to do, I think, 2 environments. Blah blah blah. And another reason why I wanted to do this, because I'm doing some Learn Squared courses to get up to date with some of my skills and rejuvenate my skills. After years of doing 3D graphics, you can get a bit stale, and I'm finding this course, Cinematic Concept Design by John Sweeney, that I've enrolled in, really good, and I'm just going to enroll in this one. I'll just pause that one for a while I'm doing this one, because this is Concept Architecture with Maxim Zhestov, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's Russian. Really good course. And then that fits into the environment design, because I want to do a sort of an undersea architectural kind of interior exterior concept sort of design. So I'm just going to take you through the initial process of what I'm doing today. So it's a Sunday here, and what I've been doing is looking at images. So I just went out. Oops. My phone just went bleep. So I just went out today in where I am. I'm working on a contract here in North Devon, and it's a little town called Ilfracombe. And there's always good things on your doorstep. So it's a kind of grey day. There's some interesting things, and obviously because the contest is beneath the sea, then I had a lot of resources here in the coastal town in North Devon. So let's look at this one first of all, and I'm just going to draw over it and show you some ideas of why I took these particular photos. So this is a lichen on a rock on the cliffs. And it's got some lovely patterns here, like this, almost fractal. So this organic type of lichen is really good to give me ideas for organic type of architecture. So if I want to include sort of organic kinds of architecture in my environment, then this is quite good. So let's close that one. Yeah, leave it without saves, and let's go on to the next one. So this is the town of Ilfracombe. It looks nice here. It's actually I get a bit fed up with it because it's a nice enough town if you visit it, but it's very insular, and a lot of people drinking a lot all the time and that sort of thing. But it's got some nice parts. It's got some nice walks around, I guess, and the coast is beautiful. So this, just draw on this. So this area here always got a nice colour. That on the west of Britain we often get this green Atlantic colour, so that's inspirational for some kind of concept design. Let's just go to the next one. Okay. So this is a really interesting design here. Can I get it to go to the edit again? Yeah, draw. I've zoomed it in a bit. So let's go to draw, and let's look at the shapes here. So, so these are kind of nice curved shapes going along like this. Organic shapes. So this could be in the environment that I'm going to look into. So what I plan to do is have sort of some really interesting architecture, some kind of minimalist but really cool looking underwater architecture with stuff going on, and perhaps the initial idea, but I might not follow that through, is, you know, have it enclosed in a sort of big underwater cavern expanse like that. Oh yeah, and by the way, in the environmental design course and all this, we're meant to use, they recommend using Twitch as a live feed, so I'm going to try and do that next week, because I've not used it before and I couldn't work out, you have to put hashtags so it links into Artstation, but I just couldn't work that out, so I'll be doing that next week when I do some more stuff next weekend, so tune into that. So anyway, that's like organic, kind of really nice organic cave structure. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so this is like a rock pool. It doesn't look amazingly inspirational here, but some stuff I quite like going on here. So, you know, we've got this massive cavern, and then we've got the pool there with the Atlantic green water, and I like that composition there. But I mean, almost you could have I was thinking, you know, if this was 1,000, you know, 10,000 times larger, this could be a canopy structure. The sea could be above it, and this could be a sort of underwater environment city with sort of the pool, and you could have kind of like stuff going on like platforms or something that I'm yet to develop. I quite like this idea, and this lattice structure, I remember years ago I did a sort of science fiction drawing when I was about 17. That was back in, I don't know, it was 92, I think. Was it 92, 93? Something like that. So I was about 16, 17. And I did this big underwater cavern. I think my auntie still has the picture framed. So, yeah. So let's go to the next one. So what I'm just trying to say is that, show you, is that, you know, there's always inspiration out there. So sometimes here it's kind of boring for me because I really like cities. So I'm used to living near Glasgow, and also, you know, I like to be in cities, like, you know, so because I grew up in a country village, so I don't want to spend that much more time in country places, I guess, but it's a nice enough place. So here's that rock pool again. And there's the rock pool again, and just looking at different compositions on it. Let's try and get this. Nothing ever works when you're showing people stuff. It always works well when you're just doing stuff on your own. So, yeah, again, nice composition. Whoops, Control Z. Oh well, I don't think it does Control Z on this. Yeah, you know, so a nice composition, sort of a crevice in the rock. Again, gives instant ideas. You know, perhaps there's structures going across, you know, sort of architectural. I can hardly speak today, sorry. Architectural, it must be because it's Sunday. So architectural features going across the way, like so, you know, sort of things like that, with perhaps suspended, and then again, you know, a canopy. Because I think, you know, underwater scenes, it's impossible actually to see a big environment interior, you know, underwater, if it's like a futuristic environment, because the sea blots everything out, so it actually looks a bit unrealistic. I think there's that game Bioshock that I've always used to inspire people with my workshops, my city workshops. It's I think at the start you can see the whole of the city, but it wouldn't look like that in real life because water doesn't have that good visibility. But correct me if I'm wrong. Perhaps sometimes it does, but I don't think under a large body of water, even if it was only about 10 meters high here, just what I'm saying, the visibility would be obscured. So that's why I'm thinking of making a sort of big scooped out interior, you know, with oxygen in, where people can walk around in a city. So as you can see, I'm quite liking that idea so far, but the important thing is to leave your options open and not go down that track too soon. So this is just a sea, looks nice. Not just the fact that it's the ocean, you could, you know, you can start to get inspired by things in the ocean. Oh, I've just messed that up, sorry. Yeah, so, you know, these shapes, all this fractal kind of stuff, could make some nice architectural ideas for that, for the environment. Let's go to the next one. So these are just fishing crates stuff. Again, nice patterns going on that you could be inspired by to create sort of modular kind of architecture that's going to be under this ocean scene. Let's go to the next one. So these photographs are not meant to be artworks, they're just reference photographs for me to use for the shapes. I quite like what's going on here, these circular things, and then look at the aging, how it's aging. So look at the metal and how it's all rusting. So really nice to bear that in mind when you're looking at sea, coastal things or underwater things, that things do rust and decay quite quickly with the salt especially. And boy, these crab pots, these lobster pots didn't smell too good either. So there's some tubs, some more tubs, colours, bright colours like sort of marine blue. We don't have any marine orange, but that always looks nice, kind of futuristic colour. And let's go back to that. As you can see, there's a nice bit of aging there, with algae kind of stuff growing on it. So remember, things in the sea are not going to necessarily look that new. I quite like this. This is a walkway. Just a minute. This is a walkway. Sorry. Oh my goodness, this mouse. Right. This is a walkway. I do apologise with all this going wrong today, but please bear with me. So this is a nice wooden structure, with the planks. You could look to having wooden walkways, or walkways made with more modern materials in the interior. And don't forget sand as well. Sand's obviously a big part of environments under the sea. See, there's another image. Okay, this is amusements. The reason why I took this is because you could play around with neon signs. So you could make a weird environment that harks back to sort of seaside amusements that we get in the UK. I know that you get them in America and Canada on coastal towns, and Australia and Spain as well, obviously. So we get these weird sort of places with amusements all over the world, really, sort of kind of run down, especially in the winter. It's kind of eerie. So this again is a weird little alley. Nice, vanishing point here, and you could play around with void, architecture with voids. Let's change the color here. You could have voids and solids. If you've seen some of my work, I did homage to Expo 67 and looked at the Habitat 67 buildings, and this had sort of voids and cubes. So I'm kind of liking the idea of cubes. So even what's called vernacular architecture, which I feel is really it's not something I don't never really think that, wow, that's amazing. Even an old seaside town like this really gives you good ideas about structure and form that you could apply to more futuristic architectonic elements in your sci-fi or fantasy works or imaginary works, which I think is great, because often I like being in big cities and stuff, and you find yourself somewhere like here, and then you think, well, the cities will always be there, I guess, and sometimes it's good to find gems where you are, I guess, in a kind of Zen way. So then that's lots of winding alleys and voids and forms and things like that. Let's go back to the other one. I mean, and if for those of you amongst listening, you like old kind of H.P. Lovecraft stories, you could have a sort of underwater, sort of seaside town like this, but underwater with eerie stuff and lights and stuff. So I think that's the end of the photographs I've had. Let's go back. So especially at the moment I'm liking this cavern idea, but at early stages, it's important when you're doing imaginary or art in general to not to close your options too early. If you really want to do something and you want to go with it, I'd recommend spend some time and sit back and then see if there's other stuff you can do as well. So I mean, I'm gonna look taking some more photographs over the next few days, and see if I can come up with any other ideas, because you suddenly get another idea and it's much more interesting and you'll have more passion about it, then you'll go with that rather than making something generic. I don't want to make something that's going to look generic, because a lot of concept art that you see on things like Artstation, it's like you can tell it's not been researched. I mean, it's technically good, but often technically amazing, but it's like the creator hasn't gone out and looked at things and and tried to develop something different. It's just like sort of run-of-the-mill. Looks like another Ubisoft game or something like that. Okay, so thanks very much for tuning in. So this is part 1. So next week I'll be showing you the developments, and I'll probably be developing it in 3D. I'm working a contract in the Fab Lab down here in Devon, so I'm going to try out some 3D scanning, perhaps make some things in clay and wood, because it's really good to make things in the real world because it has a more realistic feel, and then perhaps scan it in and then develop the form and structure, because it's all about, again, this competition section that I'm entering is all about environment design and that sort of thing. So thanks very much, and I hope you have a good week, and remember to check out jamesableart.com/blog, and if you can, check out my landing page that I've made for the 3Z universe, which is www.3zuni.com, and if you want to subscribe there, you can go ahead, and then you'll get my newsletter there as well. And again, this artwork's, I probably didn't mention this too clearly, this artwork's going to be part of the 3Z universe, which is a science fiction universe that I'm creating through a set of images and models, 3D prints, and I'm going to do some VR with it and make a coffee table book. So I'd really appreciate it. Well, I'd love it if you wanted to follow the progress, and you can do that by signing up to my newsletter on 3zuni.com. So there you go. So thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.